Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today we'll be learning that what's the role for a data analyst and what is the role of a business analyst. Now that's one of the questions which really right away the people are really very much confused that what does a business analyst do and even what does a data analyst do, because these two terms are somewhat similar like data analyst and the business analyst. Okay, so what are the roles and responsibilities for both of them? What are the things that they have to handle? All those respective measures we'll be discussing up right today in this particular video, right? So let's get started out. I'm gonna give up the name here. DA versus BA. DA is for my data analyst versus PA is for my business analyst. Okay, so that's my data analyst versus business analyst. Great. Okay, we we all know that let's say you are using up any respective e-commerce site. Okay, you are using up any e-commerce site, and from that e-commerce site, you buy out some product. Okay, that's pretty fine. Now, let's say first time you buy out that product, you gave the ratings, you gave the reviews for that product. Okay. Now, it's not at all necessary that the number of times you are gonna buy out that product, that number of times you're gonna give the reviews. It's not compulsory, right? It's not necessary that you're gonna do so. It might happen that you are buying the product, you are giving the reviews and the ratings regularly, and it might happen that you're buying the product and you are giving the ratings and reviews on an irregular basis. Might any be the cases, right? So whatever the ratings, whatever the reviews are given by you based upon the product, based upon the company which the product is selling. So all of those respective information goes and saves onto a database, right? And now that respective database, we usually data analyst, what they do, they try to visualize out that database, they try to manipulate, they try to go through that database further based upon the findings, they try to answer out some questions. Okay, might it make up a little bit sense to you regarding the data analyst? But let me start writing out the content, and with that it will be making a little bit more sense to you. Okay, so just let me quickly take out a new color here so that we can proceed in on right away. Great. So I could start it out here that the data. First, let's talk about the data analyst. Okay, let's talk about the data analyst first of all. So the data analyst, what they do, they actually data analysts look after that how the data can be used. I could just write it out. Data analysts look after how the how the data how the data can be how the data can be used in order, how the data can be used up in order to answers to answer questions, and solve the problems so problems. Okay, this is what a data analyst do. The data analyst looks after the data, that how that data can actually be used for answering the questions, for solving the problem. So into this particular case, that respective data how we can use. Okay, so the study of what's happening, the study of what's happening now to identify the study of what's happening now to identify trends, and make the predictions. and make the predictions. Okay, so this is what comes under the data analyst as well, that what they do, they actually study that what's happening right away, and they try to identify out the trends, make the predictions based upon the trends, that what is actually currently growing, and how are the things relating and everything. Okay, so in that manner, okay, 1 second, let me take it right back away. Okay, now, into that manner, what we can see for the data analyst, for the absolute thing which we can actually mention it up here, that we can see that the data analyst do more technical work, technical work, including data analysts do more technical work, including shifting through data, drawing the conclusions, and effectively communicating that data, and effectively communicating that data through practices. I would write through methods, okay? Through methods like exploratory data analysis, that's your data visualization, okay? And verbal storytelling. So this is what exactly a data analyst do, that they are actually having up a sort of very technical work. So in that, and they try to go through the data, they try to draw the conclusions, communicate out that data through the methods like you do the data cleaning, you do data manipulation, you do data visualization, further whatever the algorithms are to be used, how to apply those algorithms. So these are all the respective things which our data analysts do. And after that, the data analyst is responsible for finding out the trends, for finding out the answers from those questions from the data, and making up some conclusions. So this is what is the role of a data analyst, and this is what a data analyst actually do. Now if I get back towards the business analyst, if we talk about the business analyst, so what does a business analyst do? Let's talk about that. Business analyst. Okay. So business analyst evaluates the post and the post. Okay, and I could just write past here. Evaluate the past and current business data with the primary goal of improving decision making process within organization. Great. So yes, This is what is the role of a business analyst. Our business analyst evaluates either past and the current business data. And what's the goal for a business analyst? The goal is about improving the decision making process within that organization. Let's say in the previous data, in the past data which a business analyst has actually seen, in that respective data, there was a decision taken to launch up this product, or decision was taken to modify that product. Okay, and now current data which they are actually looking about. So in that kind of data, that respective product is not getting a too much of reach, or that product is not actually making up a too much of sense in that, right, in that case. So what is the role for business analyst? The role of a business analyst is to improve the decisions which are being taken. Whatever the relevant decision now further has to be taken for that particular product within that organization. So those decisions for the improving respectively the company, in that respective case the business analyst has to take up the decisions. So the primary goal for business analyst is to improve up the decision making process within that organization. And even what they do with the stakeholders, they work very much closely with the stakeholders, and they try to identify the goals, the practices, the activities, or the methods for analyzing the data. Right. So as data is the need for each and every organization. Right. So they try to work out with the stakeholders to identify that what is the goal of that data, what are the best practices in that data, right, and what are the methods which you can apply onto that data, how you can gather and analyze the data. So this is what they are looking. So if I talk up in one definition regarding the role of a business analyst, so yes, it's used for business analyst as a role. What do the business analysts do? They evaluate how the past and the current business data, and that's with the primary goal of improving the decision making process within the organization. This is what a business analyst actually does. So now if I take you towards a difference in a data analyst and a business analyst, data analysts are doing up a technical work. They are working up with the data. They are doing the cleaning of the data manipulation, further the exploratory data analysis, then applying the algorithms, and all those things are completely done by the data analyst. Okay. So they have to study about the trends and make up the predictions. This is what is done by the data analyst. Okay, there are some questions. They have to find out the answer of those questions, and in order for solving up the problems, right? They have to find out the answer of the questions in order for solving up the problems. This is what a data analyst is actually doing. Further, if we talk about the business analyst, so if whatever the previous data you are having, previous business data and the current business data you are having, they try to evaluate that out, and based upon that, their primary goal is to improve the decision making process into that respective organization. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear with both of these things to you regarding that what's the role of a data analyst and even what's the role of a business analyst. Hope I am pretty much clear with these things. Right? Great. So, I guess I am pretty much clear with these things to you regarding, and further, I don't hope so that you will be having any queries in the relation that what does a big data analyst do and what does a business analyst actually do, right? So, yeah. So, this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.